Hello, good evening and welcome to the program. This is Sunday Politics live on Trust TV, your home for everything politics, policy and governance. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you most kindly for joining us again. Now, the People's Democratic Party has continued to unravel with more controversial developments, signposting the unending internal battles of the once largest political party in Africa. This past week, the National Working Committee of the party ratified the controversial state congresses that many within the party say is flawed and mired in scandal. The party has also pushed its much anticipated NEC meeting, leaving many to speculate further troubles ahead for Nigeria's main opposition party. So what would it take for the PDP to get its acts right? And is the PDP incapable of attaining long-lasting peace? To help us provide context and some analysis tonight, we're joined by Timothy Osadolo, the Deputy National Youth Leader of the PDP, who is joining us virtually from Benin City in Edo State. Here with me in the studio is Comrade Daboikiabo Warmate, the National Leader concerned PDP League. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you, and thank you so much for joining us on the program. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Let me start with you from this particular perspective. What is happening with regards to addressing all the concerns that the various warring parties within the PDP have about which way the party should go if it is trying to address its myriads of challenges?
Well, thank you for having me once again. And I want to say that PDP is doing very well, strongly, under the able leadership of the acting national chairman. And there are challenges in the party, no doubt. PDP is like what we look a man married to so many wives. You know, the women will be struggling to project their children before the man to get inheritance. And that is what is happening. So right now, the NWC, as led by Ambassador Damagu, is doing all it can to annex those interests and make it a common interest. Try to persuade people, leaders, and senior members of the party to kill their ambition, to reduce their ambition, and also to make sacrifice. That is the most important thing. Everybody has to make sacrifice to make sure that PDP make progress. And in that direction, the present NWC is making headway.
With regards to these congresses, I'm not sure if we have the Deputy National Youth Leader, but we would love to get his take on this one. When this past week, the National Working Committee basically ratified what was considered contentious, scandalous congresses, it picked a side instead of, perhaps addressing all of these concerns, because a week before it ratified, or some days before it ratified the congresses, it said it is going to look into all of these concerns with a view to addressing some of these concerns, only for people to wake up and realize the National Working Committee has made up its mind. These congresses stand, regardless of everything, the litigations as well as the concerns of those who fell short of expectations. Do you think that that is the right way to go?
You see, the NWC, following Section 29, has done what the NWC is constitutionally empowered to do, is to ratify congresses. And they have checked it and looked at the congresses and have discovered in their opinion and in their wisdom that the congresses was successful. Now, I don't agree with you that there are scandals and litigations. There are one or two voices that are being raised. And, we also woke up to see that they said PDP, Wike wins over PDP Governors Forum. That is not correct. It's a narrative being promoted by destructive elements in the party in order to pitch the Governors Forum against the NWC. There is nothing like that. Congresses were conducted in many states, and all of them were ratified. So why is it all about Rivers State? There are states, even in states where we have governors. I don't want to call it any specific state. States where we have governors, they ratify their congresses. So why is it Rivers State? Is it because Wike's name is involved? So that is just it. The NWC did not take side. They just ratified the congresses. In their opinion and in their wisdom, the congresses were successful and they ratified it.
Here's why people think that wisdom is greatly flawed, because there is a subject of the situation in Rivers State is a subject of litigation, because the Rivers State High Court had restrained the PDP from holding the congresses in the state. But of course, what the NWC had done is to tentatively, say that, regardless of the court order, which is a fact.
There is no court order. I'm saying, no, I'm coming. Let me let you know why I'm saying there is no court order. A few days to the World Congress, not even the State Congress, the FOBRA group went to the State High Court to procure, injunction to restrict the party from conducting the congresses. And after the party were not notified, because it was on a Friday or so, the congresses were conducted. After the congresses were conducted, the party went to court and appeared before the judge and presented their matter. And the judge, after looking at the merit of the matter, withdrew from it. So as we speak today, there is no order restricting the PDP from conducting any congresses, and that was why after that they conducted the local government and conducted the state congress. Did
the congress happen before the order was issued or after?
I just mentioned, I said the congress, the World Congress was supposed to, I think on the 31st of July, so the order came on Friday. The order was not served to the party. If they don't serve the order, how would you know? So they've already made preparation. On Saturday, they conducted the Congress. On Sunday, they got the information. They appeared to the court because the order was to stop the Congress. And they said they will hear the matter. But when they went, they told the court, look at it, we were not served. And they told the judge, he just withdrew for the matter. So as we speak today, there is no standing order restricting PDP from any of the congresses conducted so far in Rivers State.
There was an order before the congresses were held, but point taken. Let's focus on the optics of it, because some 3 or a little over 2 weeks ago, when the Governors Forum met in Jalingo, the Taraba State capital, they had directed the National Working Committee to ensure that all the congresses in Rivers State be handed over to Governor Siminalayi Fubara. And from the outcome of this past week, that is not what happened. And you are saying somebody somewhere is trying to pitch the governors against the National Working Committee. But this is exactly what happened. When they met in Jalingo, they threw their weight behind.
Let me correct an impression.
Their colleague, and they
PDP is a party that is governed by law, and it has a constitution that is being used to govern it. The Governors Forum does not have any constitutional powers to direct the NWC to move in any direction. The NWC and the PDP Governors Forum are in cordial relationship. They are working together. But as to directing the NWC to go this way, it is not automatic, the ticket given to a governor. It is not there in our constitution. I've stated it before. What is there is a practice which, when the governor show goodwill by supporting, in promoting the party, in financing the party, and in making the party popular, the party in its wisdom gives the governor that privilege to lead the party in the state. So the Governors Forum erred in that direction to say that they will order the NWC, because number one, they don't have that power. Number two, the NWC cannot go against the constitution of the party, because following the constitution, congresses has been conducted in line with section 82(3), in line with the PDP constitution, and in line with the Congress guideline.
You're saying the decision of the PDP Governors Forum,
yes,
who also individually are members of the NEC,
yes,
of the PDP, is inconsequential in light of everything that is happening within the party?
No, the NWC is in good. I just told you that some people are trying to, because of their ambition, selfish presidential ambition, are trying to pitch the PDP Governors Forum against the NWC. I want you to underline that. That is the major issue. Otherwise, there is no issue. They are working in harmony.
What the National Working Committee did,
yes,
and what the Governors Forum want,
yes,
are two different things. And that's the point I was driving at.
because
what they
it
wanted,
is not consistent. What the PDP Governors Forum said is not in line, it's not in consonance with the PDP Constitution and with the Congress and with the Electoral Act.
Okay, let's bring in Timothy Osadolo, the Deputy National Youth Leader, who is joining us virtually from Benin City in Edo. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining the conversation. I would love to get your take on the headache that is becoming a cancer in your political party today. It seems every other week there's some new development that we're talking about with regards to the affairs of the PDP. What do you make of the status of your party vis-a-vis its very many challenges?
Good evening to you, and good evening to all our listeners across the country and across Africa and wherever they may be across the world. I'd like to say, first, I strongly disagree. I don't know where you got your facts from, when you started by saying PDP, that used to be the dominant party in Nigeria. PDP still remains the dominant party. We may not be in government, but we are still the party with the biggest reach and spread across this country. The truth is this, it's only PDP that you can find in every nook and cranny of this country with membership and followership. Having said that, the question you asked is about the crisis within the party. There's no organization that doesn't have, that is as large as PDP. If that doesn't have as large as PDP, that will not have one or two voices that is not happy with how things are being done, because things are not being done their way or their time. That is not to say that we will deceive ourselves to say all is well. All is not well in every chapter, but it's not as bad as people want it to seem, or as bad as people want to portray it to the Nigerians. The truth is that for an organization like PDP, challenges will come, but we have the institutional framework to overcome such challenges and deal with them as it comes.
And just to put it in context, we're just talking about those congresses that have become another sour point that has to be discussed in the context of everything else that is going on within the PDP, or normalizing what is happening in the PDP. But from 2014 to date, you've had to navigate so many challenges that has cost you, the seat of power, so to say. And of course, we've seen the party continue to lose a lot of ground to the APC and other political parties. But talk to me about these congresses that seem to be a point of division.
I agree with you that unfortunately the PDP lost power. I agree with you that most of the congresses across the country are having dissenting voices against them. Truth be told, there is no perfect organization on earth, and there is no perfect institution. The PDP has its own shortcomings, and I'm convinced that we are making more than enough efforts to make up for the mistakes we have made in the past. Most times, most of these mistakes were not of the heart, it was of the head. Most of the times, were not of the head, it was of the heart. But either way, a mistake is a mistake. But again, look at the voices that are crying in most of these congresses. Some of them, even if we do those congresses 100 times over, most of them will not win. That is not to say there are not some genuine ones who would have won, who because of one reason or the other think they have been rigged out or they have been played out. And in such situations, it's unfortunate because here are strong men and women of character who can add their own value to the process and make the party a bigger and more formidable force in that region, because all the regions, the wards, and the local government aggregated together, that gives a formidable national outlook. So I agree, most of these congresses are not with the best of outcomes. And I believe that with the lessons learned within the last two elections back to back, we can only help ourselves by improving and doing better.
Yeah, and just on a final note on that particular conversation on the congresses, do you think glossing over it with the National Working Committee just ratifying it, that your problems are behind you when it comes to the congresses, because the aggrieved parties would definitely want to take it up further.
You see, the truth is this. The NWC is made up of women, men of character across the country. So it would be unfortunate to see some people who believe that the NWC was biased against them. I'm not absolving the NWC of not being biased in most instances, because if it favors me, I'll be happy. If it doesn't favor me, I'll be crying. That's how politicians and politics, that's how it operates. But that is also to say that all the congresses across the states of the Federation were perfect. So ratifying an imperfect convention or congress does not make things right. I am of the opinion that whatever is sub judice or whatever is contentious should be addressed squarely and fairly in the overall best interest of not only the party, but for the health of the party and the members of the party who believe that the party is a democratic party and where the will of the people should prevail.
Right. Let's double down on the very many challenges beyond just the congresses, but also talk about the seeming growing disunity or disharmony within the PDP. Our sister platform did a conversation with the Damagun, and he pretty much gave a long list of why PDP is where it is right now. Talks about conflicting interests, talks about the chances of winning the 2027 elections, but talk to me about the conflicting political interest that continues to be at the center of this particular conversation when you talk about which direction the PDP is going to go. A house divided within itself cannot stand. We know that for a fact. So how does PDP navigate this particular chapter in such a way that the party comes out stronger, in your view?
Well, I want to say that PDP has always navigated through it, and just like I told you the other time I appeared on your platform, I said what we have in PDP is not crisis, it's interest wrangling, and that is what the present NWC is trying to manage, and in doing that they are doing very well. They are managing the various interests, divergent interests, which are not very easy to manage, because some of those that have the interest, some of the leaders are not ready to make sacrifice. So they need to be persuaded several times to be able to understand the NWC point of view in trying to project unity and take the party forward. So the NWC is doing a lot in trying to unify the party and also make them understand that we are one. What is important is for us to be united and give Nigerians what is expected of us. That is strong opposition at the end, coming to power in 2027 in order to salvage Nigeria from this mess we are into, this one chance we are into.
And we keep talking about the Wike conversation, right? Some say they can't remember the last time someone so outrageously, in public, undermines the party with no consequences whatsoever, like the FCT minister, who is the past governor of Rivers State, who is also at the center of this conversation about the controversial congresses in Rivers, which, by the way, during the National Working Committee's ratification, one of the leaders of the party raised the conversation around the litigation around that Congress and how it could come back to haunt the PDP, because anything, those elected members of the leadership do going forward, if it turns out that the electoral process that brought them in is faulty, it all negates everything. I mean, so many cases in point, like the case of Jos or Plateau State, for instance, comes to mind. But in talking about Wike, over the past 2 weeks, we heard of the invitation letter calling him to order to appear before a disciplinary committee to address certain concerns that the party has regarding his utterances, his activities, which many say is obviously undermining the growth and development of the PDP. Why has he not been punished yet?
Now, let me let you know something. Wike is not undermining the party. Wike might be speaking the way he's speaking, but he's not undermining the party, and he has publicly several times mentioned that he's a party man, and if there is need for him to be invited, they invite him. He will appear. He's a party man. He will appear and explain himself. The only issue he's having, Wike is blatant. He comes out openly to say what he's saying and do what he's doing. But many of the leaders are not like that. That is the issue he's having with some of the senior members of the party. Let me give you, for instance, they are saying some members of the governors group in Rivers State are saying suspend Wike. Let me ask you this question. Those people, from the governor to those his supporters, didn't they vote Tinubu in 2023 election? Were they not with Wike? Didn't they vote Tinubu?
How is that relevant to the conversation?
No, how is that relevant? You're talking about Wike's activities. How Wike is not being punished because he's undermining the party, and that is because he's working on that.
Do you think do you honestly believe that he is not undermining the party,
No.
even after saying so?
That is not, is undermining the party. How?
You think working for the APC is not going to undermine?
He's not working for the APC. He's working for the, he said, he told the party that he's going for national service.
Yeah, but he's literally working for the APC government.
He's not. He's serving this nation. He's serving Nigeria. And the
It's just
president.
semantics. It's still for the APC government. I mean, all the successes that this
Are you
administration
a Nigerian?
gets, of course I am a Nigerian.
Are you an APC member?
Of course I'm not.
Then, that is it.
How
So the Wike is working for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he's not working for APC, and he has said it several times that I was called for national service.
How many other high-profile PDP members are in the Tinubu government?
Wike said it in his interview. He said most of if you watch his interview.
Answering the question.
No.
Yeah, the question is how many other high-profile PDP members are working for the APC government?
No, I may not know some of them. I know Wike because he's my former governor. I may not know them, but Wike has mentioned them and has dared PDP leaders and governors that they should come out. And I counter his statement when he accused them that some of them even nominated people for board appointments as chairman and what have you. So I may not know them, but I know Wike. I know some other persons.
Because there isn't.
No. If there is none, he will not come out openly to make that statement. And to date, nobody has countered him.
Yeah, maybe they feel there is no need to respond to such a wild accusation. But let's just bring back the Deputy National Youth Leader back into the conversation. Do you think that, not consequencing the FCT minister, for instance, is one of the reasons why some people from the outside looking in don't take PDP serious? Because, there aren't many political parties that can allow such an obvious egregious behavior to go unpunished.
Well, it's difficult to talk about defending Wike and not appear embarrassed or funny or somehow. The truth is this: when you hold a leadership position or in trust of a particular group or persons or a party, the onus is on you to carry yourself in a way that is not only yourself, but the institution that you represent or the brand that you represent. It's unfortunate that brash talk and LS talks is what people use to excuse indiscipline and anti-party activities these days. It's unfortunate most of the comments that Governor Nyesom Wike has made in the recent past, because for a man who has been fortunate to build his life under the brand of the PDP, from being a council chairman to what is today, he owes the PDP an eternal great debt of gratitude that can never be fully repaid for have made his life and defined his life on earth. But the truth is that when we hear him speak publicly about the PDP, you think the PDP is one filthy rag that he has used and discarded, which is not so. People hold school of thought in his defense, people hold school of thought against him. It's all in the public opinion. The fact that things are wrong and things are right doesn't mean that there's no true facts about the issues. What is the fact on this issue is that Nyesom Wike has not behaved or carried himself in the best manner possible expected of him as a very senior member of the PDP, as he has claimed. For some of us who believe he has gone across the red lines, the honest people, Nigerians believe he should be expelled. For some reasons, the leadership of the party has not been able to carry itself around that fact. Reason be that, people still believe Wike can make a 360 degrees. People still believe he can change. People still believe that Wike of the past is still can still come back. Wike of the past is a fantastic party man. He nearly gave his life in defense of the interests of this party. You will not cut those credits away from him, not because he has not done 360 on his past now in the PDP, but the Wike of today and the Wike that was governor, there are two different Wike. The Wike changed when he lost the presidential primaries. Since then to today, we are still looking for the old Wike who was a 100% PDP man. But I do believe that with the reconciliation and all the committees being set up now, that we can talk to ourselves, heal ourselves, and move forward. Because beyond Wike is Nigeria and the interest of Nigerians. And Nigerians are hungry, they are tired, and dying across the country. So making Wike a topical issue now is a distraction from what is obvious. A liter of fuel is beyond the reach of the common man. So I wonder how life is now for the average Nigerian. Yes, the Wike issue is a serious issue when we talk about opposition parties in Nigeria need to take power from the agreed or supposedly alleged failed government of the day. So, but I don't want us to dwell too much on it, because head or tail, you always have people saying he's doing well, but we all know the truth. And I wish himself would look in the mirror and tell himself the truth.
Just before we segue into another angle of this particular conversation, do you think that the current National Working Committee commands the respect of the members of the PDP?
Well, the truth is this. I am a Christian. My Bible tells me Jesus Christ was the Son of God, but that didn't stop somebody from hanging him or from beating him to death. The truth is this, the NWC has done well in so many regards under the leadership of Elia Damagu. But again, we will understand that there's no perfect system. There are rooms to always improve on any mistakes one is perceived to have made or one is making. The NWC commands respect amongst many party members, but that is not to say that many party members or a significant number of the party followership may not be disappointed because their expectations are not being met. It's the same with all human establishments and systems. Those who believe that their thoughts or their aspirations is being carried out, they always join the chorus band saying hallelujah, hallelujah. Those whose expectations are not being met will always be in the rhetoric or in the critic camp to say, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. But at the end of the day, let's give this NWC some flowers. They have done well. Nobody believed the PDP would be here today after the crisis that erupted after the presidential elections. So Ambassador Elia Damagu, for all what you should call him, for me, is building the party, is unifying the party. He has his own style. His style may not be my own best approach, but it's working, or it seems to be working in beats. So let's give him room and let's give the NWC their dues.
Okay. On a final note on the suspension, punishment, consequences, and things like that, from the home front in Rivers State, the governor, his supporters are calling for the either suspension or even expelling Wike from the PDP platform. Do you think that is something that should be seriously considered, looking at how the party itself is its biggest enemy in this particular context?
No, that particular call does not hold water, and I'll say so because even the governor himself supported Wike and voted Tinubu. His supporters today, all of them did same. Now, let me point out something. If they are saying they should suspend Wike, then they need to suspend the whole of Rivers State PDP leaders. The former national chairman, Uche Secondus, and other senior members of the party addressed a world press conference when declaring support for the governor. What did they say? Behind them was articles flex banner with PDP. What came out for their mouth? We support the governor and we support President Tinubu at the expense of the party. And they said that, what was their other statement? Politics is over. Now it's time for governance. That is very incorrect. That is how leaders deceive followers. There is no time in any society politics is ended. It is only campaign. Any society without politics is a society that wants to go on extinction.
But I think we all know, to be fair, we understand what they're saying. There's no time for campaigns, so there's no need to toe party lines.
No, that is not the thing. Why not stand by the governor if you want to stand by governor? Why do you say, President, you're a former national chairman, you're a former deputy speaker, leaders of the party, senators, saying that now it's not time for it's time for governance, it's not campaign. There is time for campaign. Campaign is over, but politics still continue. So if you are saying that they should suspend Wike, then all those leaders should be suspended. The governor himself should be expelled. Every member in Rivers PDP should be expelled because 90% of them supported the governor, then governor, which is President FCT Minister, to support Tinubu.
You don't think anything Wike said or did warrants punishment or any punitive measure whatsoever?
No, see, we need to separate it. Wike activities. The question is it against the party or against individuals having issues with individuals? Wike never, if you watch Wike, he has never attacked PDP. He will only say leaders, so persons, come and say this. If you did not do this, Wike don't attack the party. He attacked individual leaders.
I mean, literally, when he gave the last interview,
yes,
on Channels Television, yes, he was asked about Edo. He said he's not going to support the party there. The election is just around the corner, 21st of September. What more does he have to do to convince you that he's actually, inside PDP working for the other team?
No, he explained, Wike's be fair to him, he explained himself that day and said that he sacrificed his life in Edo State in the last election for the outgoing governor of the state. And he explained why his ordeal and how even the PDP, his colleagues sabotaged him. He said it in his interview. And for that reason, he will not involve himself. And not that he's working against the party. No, he said he will just remain aloof. Just like this poem, the Irish airman. He said, the country I fight for, I do not love. The country I fight against, I do not hate. That is his position in this particular election. In that last election, Wike sacrificed his life. IG, held him hostage. What more can he do for the party? So this guy said, I did all that, and they did not recognize. Even the person I did it for even went back against me. So he withdrew. He's not supporting APC. Wike did not say supporting APC candidate, please.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he doesn't have to, but it says something if he's not going to support his own party. And I think that's where the main issue is.
That he will withdraw.
If you're a PDP person, there is no sitting around the fence. You have to be a PDP person 100%.
It's 100%.
No ifs or buts.
No, Wike is 100% PDP person. He has said it. The only thing he has said, he almost lost his life.
If you have a vote,
they did not come to say.
If you have a vote today in Edo, wouldn't you be voting for the PDP?
No, definitely I will. I've even spoken in defense of the candidate because we have the best candidate in Edo State. We don't want to bring a candidate that will give us insecurity.
That's what Wike is not willing to say. To
no, because support. The sacrifice Wike has made for PDP Edo, I have not made it. Wike sacrificed his life. So had it been a harder kind of issue, maybe I would have acted like Wike.
Okay. Let's open up the conversation a little bit. Hopefully we'll get some PDP supporters to join the conversation and tell us how they think or how they feel about this particular development. The PDP is in an ever-growing crisis to try to manage its own goodwill. If you can say that, since 2014 to date, the party has been unraveling, coming second in successive elections in 2015, 2019, 2023, and it looks like the fight is not yet over. Give us a call. Let's just have your take on what's going on within the PDP. What do you make of it? And if you're a PDP supporter, what is the best way forward to bring about stability, to bring an end to the various chaos that has pretty much overtaken the affairs of the PDP over the past few years or so. Let's have your take on this one. The number is showing on your TV screen. Let's go back to the Deputy National Youth Leader. You are in Edo State ahead of the September 21st elections. You had quite the rally. You have so many of these national figures of the PDP join the campaign rallies. What are your feelings regarding what is happening, not just in Edo, but what it says about the PDP's goodwill across the nation? But before you respond to that, let's bring in our first caller. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome to the program. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Ahmed, and I'm calling from Adamawa State.
Daniel from Adamawa. How are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay. The only thing that we're going to do in order for us to support PDP is for ingredient people that they always need the street. So they have to be patient and leave others so that they will come over.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that concise take, Daniel. I know it's going to take a lot more than that to sort things out in the PDP. But Mr. Timothy, let's get your thoughts on your feelings and whether you think people are losing their trust or their patience in the PDP given everything that is happening.
Options are very clear. There's a pathway to prosperity on one hand, and there's a pathway to doom on the other hand. A man has come out openly to say he's assuring his security.
I'm pretty sure Deputy National Youth Leader, that was a slip of the tongue. I think he didn't mean to say insecurity. I think we can all agree. Sometimes people...
From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The slip of the tongue has not occurred in this conversation we've been having in the past 30 minutes. You have not slipped because your heart was very clear on what the issues are. The truth is this: you start to slip when the issues are not clear to you. You see, the governance takes much more than rhetorics and talks.
Okay.
The man himself has said publicly he does not need a manifesto.
Right.
How do you intend to govern Edo? How do you intend to govern a state like Edo, who's among one of the first-class states educationally in this country, without a manifesto? Edo, we have spent the past 8 years reconstructing and rebuilding. Only earlier this year, we launched a 30 years master plan for the development of the Edo projects. A man is coming and running for the office of the governor and saying he doesn't need a manifesto and that he can walk and walk and walk. You see, working as a welder or a vulcanizer or an artisan is different from working as a governor. We must be able to draw the line. Governance takes an administration requires much more than being an adult or speaking English or not speaking English. But again, on one hand, we have a seasoned administrator, a corporate guru, an investment backer, an economist by excellence. On the other hand, we had a man who had nothing to show on his CV aside being, I'm not saying artisans can aspire to be what they want to be in life with the help of God. But this is a man who only enrolled for evening school or evening class less than 3 months ago.
I intended for the question.
Again, the goodwill across the country and the grand opinion is very clear.
Okay.
It swears around the candidate of the PDP, Dr. Osadolo, who's obviously
just a moment, Deputy National Youth Leader. Just a moment. Let's create room for some of our callers to chime in on the conversation. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Sunday Politics. Hello. Who's on the line? Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Adams. Good evening.
Adams, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lafia, Nasarawa State.
Adams from Lafia, go ahead.
I'm calling from Lafia, Nasarawa State.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just joined your program now, and I just speak. I want to speak on a particular point.
Go ahead, Adams. You need to turn down the volume of your TV set because it's the reason why we're having a delayed conversation. Yeah, go ahead. Just make your point.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Good. The only option Nigerians have now is PDP. And for people to take PDP serious, they have to expel people like Wike. Because what Wike have done is doing a lot of harm to PDP as a party. There are many steps that Wike have declared to Nigerians and to the party that he will never support PDP. So Wike is destroying PDP from within. It's either he works with PDP or he works with APC. Because he has shown clearly that he is against PDP, and the national working committees are not ready to redeem the PDP. So my advice to PDP this evening is that if they want Nigerian students serious and they'll do something reasonable in the forthcoming 2027 election, it's to make sure they expel people like PDP, like Wike.
Okay. Thank you so much, Adams. Appreciate you for that contribution. Do have a lovely evening. What do you say to PDP supporters like Adams, for instance, who think the only way the party can make progress is without Wike?
You see, everybody are entitled to their opinion. PDP, as I told you, is an institution, it's a democratic party. So that does not mean that is what is obtainable or that is the reality. You understand? Because Wike, people are seeing him in that light. But Wike is doing a lot for the party. Wike might have issue with one or two leaders, but as PDP, Wike would never
he's doing
undermine
a lot for the party. What are you talking about? But before you respond to that, let's speak to this next caller. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Please turn down the volume of your TV set. Let's have a conversation. Who is on the line and where are you calling from? All right, I think we can move to the next caller then. A quick reminder, please. Rules of engagement: when you do call in and we patch you through, please turn down the volume of your TV set. Let's have a straightforward conversation. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome to the program. Who is on the line and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Paul calling from Port Harcourt.
Your name, please.
My name is Paul, calling from Port Harcourt.
Paul, how is Port Harcourt this evening? Hello, Paul. Are you still there?
Well, yeah, I want to make my own point.
Go ahead.
Because it's like sometimes you journalists, you people don't keep record. During the period of election, Wike said that since PDP has decided to fail, that you will help them to fail. Why you people don't repeat that? Play it here so that people will see. And since that day till now, he has been working against the party. I don't know why that man there with the eyeglass with a white top. I don't know. You should not bring such people like that to spoil PDP more. He is not saying the truth. And he knows the truth. He cannot say the truth. Well, I think that he's a young man entering into the party. One day you have a fear with Wike, and Wike will treat him the way he treated us and treat PDP. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate you, Paul. I must say, Comrade Daboikiabo has every right, of course, to share his own thoughts, just as much as we just created a platform for you to share your thoughts. So let's all agree that we can disagree on some of these issues. Our next caller is on the line. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome to the program. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm coming from Benue State.
Yeah, calling from Benue. Your name, please.
My name is Eja Moses.
Go ahead.
Yes. You see, when some people started to insulting Nyesom Wike, some of us were not happy at all because they should remember that PDP was down. Now this Nyesom Wike, he was the one who stand up and make sure that he rebuilt PDP. But some people that are forgetting that one. Even some other big names, some go to Dubai, go other places, leave Nyesom Wike. It's only Nyesom Wike has stamped PDP. And some people that are forgetting about that. So thank you with your program.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in the program. The diversity of the opinions are quite very clear and welcomed, need I say. And that is, of course, our final caller for the evening. We have a couple of minutes to spare, so I'm just going to give 2 minutes to the Deputy National Leader just to respond to some of these feedback, and then, of course, we'll come back to the man here in the studio who has been at the receiving end of that criticism from Paul, who called in from Port Harcourt. So, good days ahead, Deputy National Youth Leader for the PDP. Do you think the PDP will come out of this chaos stronger and better? And do you think all of that will happen in such a manner that would guarantee some level of success in 2027?
I share the sentiment of the last two callers who said that the PDP is the only hope of the Nigerian man and the common Nigerian man. I do believe in my heart that we get ourselves together and get above these seeming challenges. PDP is the party to beat 2027. I believe so strongly in my heart too that these challenges are much, but it's surmountable, and we have the institutional framework to surmount all of these challenges if genuinely we deal and tell ourselves the truth. Again, I'm not saying Mr. A is bad or Mr. B is good, but Mr. A and Mr. B can both keep about their differences and work together for the Nigeria overall best interest of all Nigerians. Because if we put
I'm afraid it appears we've lost the connection to Mr. Timothy there. Let me come back to Mr. Comrade Warmate here in the studio. Your quick reaction to your brother from Port Harcourt who thinks that you're on the wrong side of this argument, and also the hopes that you share for PDP coming out of this stronger and better.
Well, just like the Deputy National Youth Leader said, PDP, everyone have their opinion, and that is his opinion, and I respect it. But that doesn't mean that is the truth. Just like the person that called from Benue State, Wike has made a lot of sacrifice for this party. When people that were expected to make sacrifice left the shores of this country, he mentioned it. And we are looking at the other side. There is no perfect human being. Definitely there is no perfect human being. Until date, Wike is still making sacrifice for the party. That is what people fail to understand, because they don't, make inquiries to know if this person is still doing something for the party or against the party. And that's why I strongly against those that are calling for his suspension. And talking about PDP moving forward, definitely, you've heard from all the callers. That is the sentiment, that is the pulse of the nation. That PDP is the hope of Nigeria, and PDP is not just the hope, but the last hope of the common person in this country. And so we know that also, that's why the NWC is working tirelessly to make sure that they unite the party and make sure that by 2027, PDP bounce back to power to put smiles on the faces of Nigerians.
I wonder who Wike is going to vote then. But gentlemen, we're going to have to leave the conversation here for now. This is, as always, a revolving issue, and we'll circle back as some of these developments continue to shape the direction for the main opposition party in the country. Comrade Daboikiabo Warmate, National Leader, Concerned PDP League, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Really appreciate you for stopping by this evening.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, many thanks to Comrade Timothy Osadolo, who is the Deputy National Youth Leader of the PDP. Thank you most kindly for joining the conversation. And more importantly, thanks to all of you for joining the conversation, and of course for being a part of the show tonight. We do appreciate you for your time and your company. Feel free to follow us across our social media platforms just to stay in touch. You can also visit our website, trusttv.com, to catch the very latest. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. From myself and the rest of the team, thank you for watching Sunday Politics. Good night.